What is up guys, JohnHunter1 here and welcome to today's video. Now today I'm going to be covering some new Ghostrick cards, and I haven't got a lot of time these days to cover every single thing that is announced, but there'll be some new stuff announced over the last few days, last week or so, and some of it I want to make a point to cover, and Ghostricks is one of them, because Ghostricks is an archetype that I've covered since pretty much the beginning when the archetype was first announced in Shadow Spectres. I was really intrigued by it, very interested of what this archetype was actually doing. And every time new support comes up, I've always said this archetype needs a little bit more. It needs a little bit more to be extremely viable and extremely playable, so where it is actually very good and it can actually compete against a lot of the top tier decks. And I think it's finally at that stage. There's 4 new monsters, 1 new spell card and 1 new trap card. And with these cards, mixing with just some normal spell and trap cards, I think the Ghostrick archetype is finally there. So let's get into the first card. The first card we have here is Ghostrick Frost. Now this is a Dark Fiend effect, level 1, 800 attack, 100 defense, and its effect reads, cannot be normal summoned unless you control a Ghostrick monster. Once per turn you can change this card to face down defense position. So just the typical Ghostrick effect. When an opponent's monster declares a direct attack, you can change that monster to face down defense position, and if you do, special summon this card from your hand in face down defense position. So nice little card there. Opponent declares a direct attack, change that to a face down defense position, and then play your monster in face down defense position as well. That can be a really nice opening play. So you start off your turn, you draw Ghostrick Frost, just lay some back row, and your turn. Your opponent goes into their turn, they summon a monster, they go for a direct attack, use the effect of Frost, and you negate the attack, plus you've got one of their monsters in face down defense position. And then if you activate one of the field spell cards of Ghostrick, then you can go in for direct attacks and pull off shenanigans that way. So yeah, Ghostrick Frost, very good card, one of the better level 1 monsters for the archetype, and I am very happy with it. Moving on to Ghostrick Catgirl. This is a dark spellcaster effect, level 2, 400 attack, 900 defense, and her effect reads, besides from the typical Ghostrick effect, when a level 4 or higher monster is normal or special summoned, if you control another Ghostrick monster, change that monster to face down defense position. A very powerful card indeed. So even if this card is just sitting in defense position on your side of the field, it can just stay there with another Ghostrick monster, and then if your opponent summons a monster level 4 or higher, normal summoned or special summoned, just change it to face down defense position, and then once again you've got your opponent's monster in face down defense position, which gives you the options to pull off a whole bunch of different plays, whole bunch of shenanigans, and it just puts you in a really positive situation. So again, Ghostrick Catgirl, a very powerful card added to the archetype, and this is probably the best level 2 spellcaster monster that the Ghostrick archetype has. Next up is Ghostrick Mummy. This is a dark zombie effect, level 3, 1500 attack, 0 defense, and its effect reads, besides from the typical Ghostrick effect, during your main phase you can normal summon 1 Ghostrick monster in addition to your normal summon / set. You can only gain this effect once per turn. You cannot special summon any monsters except dark monsters. This is a very powerful effect. Again, it gives you the option to just swarm the field with Ghostrick cards, and I think that's one of the things that I did ask for in a previous Ghostrick video. I wanted a card that that allowed us to speed the archetype up a little bit, to make things move a little bit faster, you know? I don't want to spend one turn just summoning some defense, and then next turn summoning Frankenstein and then using its effect and so on and so forth. I wanted to speed it up a little bit, and now with Ghostrick Mummy you can do that. So use Mummy's effect, summon it, use its effect, summon Frankenstein. If you want, then you can go into Ghostrick Alucard, so on and so forth. So there's lots of different things you're going to be able to do with Ghostrick Mummy, and again, like the other 2 cards I already spoke about here, one of the more powerful cards in the archetype, so I am very happy with that. And the final monster card we're going to cover here is Ghostrick Skeleton. Dark zombie effect, level 3, 1200 attack, 1100 defense, and its effect reads, besides from the typical Ghostrick effect, when this card is flipped face up, banish cards from the top of your opponent's deck face down up to the number of Ghostrick monsters you control. You can only use this effect of Ghostrick Skeleton once per turn. Now that's something different for the Ghostrick archetype. We haven't really seen any sort of effect involving milling cards from the top of your opponent's deck. The main play with Ghostrick, as most of you may know, is getting your opponent's monsters into face down defense position and then attacking them directly with your Ghostrick monsters. So to see something like this, it's a bit, it threw me off a little bit. I wasn't expecting a Ghostrick card like this, but it's definitely interesting, and it could be viable. I don't think this... I say it could be valuable, but I don't think it will be. I don't think you'll see this card in a typical well-built Ghostrick build. I think this is one of those side cards that could be interesting, but I don't think it's going to be necessary, but still interesting nonetheless. Now moving on to our spell card and our second field spell card for Ghostrick, Ghostrick Museum. Monsters you control cannot attack except Ghostrick monsters. Monsters cannot attack face down defense position monsters, but can attack directly if all monsters their opponent controls are face down defense position monsters. At the end of the damage step, if a monster inflicts battle damage, change that monster to face down defense position. This is a pretty interesting field spell card. It's very similar to Ghostrick House, but it has a slight cost to it, but you also get a slight advantage from it, and that is you can only attack with Ghostrick monsters using this card, but at the end of the damage step, if a monster inflicts battle damage, you can change that monster to face down defense position, which I really like in a way, because it can make your if you're on last resort mode and all your Ghostrick monsters are in face down defense position, you don't have any spells or traps to fall back on, then this can sort of get your opponent monsters into face down defense position, but it doesn't really help out in terms of yourself, because after you've attacked with your Ghostrick monsters, you can just send them into a face down defense position anyway. So it has some pluses, it has some downsides, but overall I'm probably going to say that Ghostrick House is still the way to go as far as field spell cards go. But if you wanted to try and speed things up a bit with the archetype, maybe play 3 of this, maybe play 3 of Ghostrick House and 3 Terraforming, there's 9 chances to draw into a field spell card. So it's nice to have that option. And the final card we're going to be covering here is the new trap card, Ghostrick Rollswitch, and this is actually a really powerful trap card. So anyway, it's a continuous trap card, and spec reads, once per turn during your battle phase, or during the battle phase, sorry, you can activate one of the following effects. Target one Ghostrick monster you control. Change it to face down defense position, then change one face down defense position monster your opponent controls into face up attack position. So yeah, not bad there, nice little effect. And the other one is target one face down defense position monster you control, change it to face up attack position. Then if it was a Ghostrick monster, change one face up monster your opponent controls to face down defense position. My favourite effect is that last one, so targeting one of your face down monsters, put it in face up attack, and then changing your opponent's monster to face down defense position. It's a nice card whatever battle phase you're using it on. So if you use it on your opponent's battle phase, then you can pretty much protect yourself from one attack for that turn. If you use it in your battle phase, you could potentially change your opponent's last attack position monster into face down defense position, and you can go in for a direct attack. And then depending on what you flip up using Ghostrick Rollswitch effect, you could possibly do some other things there. I don't know. Just different combos you can pull off with Ghostrick Rollswitch. But anyway guys, those are the new Ghostrick cards. I wanted to make a point of covering these cards because I've always covered the Ghostrick archetype. I look forward to these cards being added to DevPRO. I haven't been on that website for quite some time, but I'm going to check a little bit more often, see when these Ghostrick cards are going to be added, and then I'm going to make a new deck profile for the Ghostrick types, because now that they've got a lot more support, I want to be playing them. But anyway guys, that's going to do it for today's video. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like, rate, comment down below, let me know what you think of these cards, and if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button to keep up to date with all my other videos. Again guys, from Padawan, and I'm out. Peace. Thank you for watching.